Hey guys, how you doing? The title of this video is Generous God, Generous People, and that's because for the last several months we've been talking as a church through the concept of generosity, and that it is in our experience with a generous God that it transforms us. As we experience Him, it transforms us and it turns us into generous people. And I want to share a verse with you that I think is really fundamental, especially in a season like this. It's Galatians chapter 6, verse 2, and it says this: carry each other's burdens, and in this way you will fulfill the law of Christ. See, I think we have this unique gift in difficult seasons to be able to walk with people. And generosity in that looks different depending on where we find ourselves. Generosity really is giving more of ourselves than we might think we could to somebody who needs more than we do. And and here's how it can look. It can look financial. And I think we get stuck sometimes thinking it's always financial, but we can be generous with our words, with our emotions, with peace, we can be generous with kindness, we can be generous in the way we care for our family and those around us. There's tons of ways to be generous. And the Houston Vineyard historically has been an incredibly generous church, whether it's our financial commitment to ministries and missions across the globe or even locally. For example, Him Food Pantry, that we've been a partner with for years as they provide food Thursdays and Saturdays for the most vulnerable of our communities. And we've been able to partner with other churches in the Heights area and do great things. And they're still doing great things. And so today I wanted to give you a couple highlights of ways that the Houston Vineyard is involved in caring for the most vulnerable through our partnerships and ways that you can get involved. Anything I talk about today, you can find a link for in the description of this video or somewhere connected to this video. And if not, then you can always go to our website and you'll be able to link there to different ways to be connected in generosity with those that most need it in a season of pandemic that is changing the world as we speak. But let me go through a couple things. There's a couple partnerships that are strategic for us and that still need our involvement. One of them is the Him Food Pantry, as I talked about before. They're still feeding people and they need perishable goods, non-perishable goods, not perishable, non-perishable goods. And so if you have non-perishable goods, or if you have the capacity to get it and want to participate in helping feed people that are in very vulnerable situations right now, you can drop it off. They also need about 10 volunteers or so throughout the week, and you can sign up with them to volunteer. The other place that we've been connected with over the years, especially the last 2 years, is the Friends of Northside. Now, they're a unique organization because they really listen to the needs of the individuals in the Northside community that they serve. So everything from food in the general sense, but for example, most recently they found out somebody that needs a diabetic milk that they need for their daily sort of sustenance and essentially their life, and they were running out. And they found a partner to be able to provide some of that milk, which is very expensive, for free to this family. They're a great organization to get connected with. They are serving their community Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays from 2 to 4, and they also need volunteers. The other place that we have begun to partner with, starting with Advent Conspiracy this last Christmas, is Casa Juan Diego. Now, Casa Juan Diego is really serving some of the most vulnerable of our community, not only in the refugees or immigrants that are in need, but also the people that are physically disabled, whether it's paralysis or a long-term sickness or are not able to provide for themselves. They provide not only medical care, but food as well. And right now, they are giving out and feeding 3 times the number of people that they normally do. One of the biggest needs they have is vegetable oil, cooking oil. And so there's a great place for you if you have extra cooking oil or want to grab a case of it from the grocery store and take it to them. It'd be a huge blessing to families that have very little. These are ways as the Houston Vineyard that we are partnering with people that are doing really good work for the most vulnerable and affected right now. But there's more to come. There's going to be more needs that present themselves. And we are going to continue to position ourselves with generosity on the forefront. We have a special place for you to donate on our giving page, which you can find at houstonvineyard.org, which is called Generous God, Generous People. All the money that's donated there will be directed towards the COVID-19 response. As we see needs presented in our church with our ministry partners locally and worldwide, we want to be able to use those funds to really make a difference for the people that are most hurting now. Now, here's something really practical. Some of you have gotten stimulus checks already. I'm still waiting for mine, but it's coming, I hope. But there are things we can do. Some of us have more than enough, and a stimulus check is not something we necessarily need. And there was a member of the congregation who basically called and said, hey, we would probably like to donate a portion, if not all, of our stimulus check. Where's a good place where we could donate that to the church that would go for the needs of those around us that don't have? We're, as a family, going to do something similar. We're going to take a portion of our stimulus check and donate it under the Generous God, Generous People line item in our giving page. Together, I think we can make a difference. We get to carry one another's burdens, and it's not all financial. A kind word goes a long time in this season. Or a long time. It goes a long way in this season. A message that says, I'm praying for you, goes a long way. There are things happening in this world that we have not been prepared for because, quite frankly, there's no way to prepare for them. But we serve a generous God, and He's called us to be a generous people. If you feel antsy and want to do something, there's 3 great partners here where you can get involved. If you feel a burden for those that have little, there's a great place to give so that we can administer the money that comes in and care for those that are going to be most in need. This is a season of great challenge for many of us and great opportunity for the kingdom of God. As a church, as a congregation, as a people, we get to show the world around us the love of God, the generous nature of a loving God through our own generosity, through our own commitment to carry the burdens together. May God bless you and fill you with peace, and may we respond to the generosity of God by being generous people. God bless you.